If you watch kids on a playground for like long enough, you start to see these power dynamics that honestly wouldn't look out of place in a corporate boardroom
Oh.
or a war zone.
Yeah, it's pretty intense when you actually sit and pay attention to it.
Right. So today we're doing a deep dive into the psychology of, well, why we hurt each other. And I figure I'll put on my student hat today to sort of figure out the mechanics of all this. If you want to be the lecturer.
I will gladly step into the lecturer role. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fascinating topic.
Awesome. So what are we looking at today to help us decode these concepts?
Well, the foundation for today's discussion is section 12.6 of chapter 12 from Psychology 2E. Our mission for you today is to really look under the hood of human aggression, the evolution of bullying, and why crowds so often just freeze when someone is in danger.
Okay, so I always assumed aggression was just, raw anger, but the research separates it from emotion entirely, right?
Yeah, it divides it into two specific drives. First, you have hostile aggression. This is what you're probably thinking of. It's anger-driven, with the explicit goal of causing pain.
Like a sudden fight at a bar or something.
Exactly. But then there's instrumental aggression, and this is purely goal-oriented.
Wait, really? Goal-oriented?
Yeah, so a contract killer, for example, isn't necessarily angry at their target. The harm is just, a means to an end.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like a hammer. Like swinging it in a blind rage to smash a wall is hostile.
Right.
But using that same hammer to break a window during a burglary is instrumental. Like the goal is the theft and the smashing is just a byproduct.
That is a perfect analogy, and evolutionary theory actually suggests that kind of goal-oriented instrumental aggression started as a way for human males to, display dominance.
To protect mates, right,
Yeah.
like we see in non-human primates.
Yep, exactly.
But wait, that implies aggression is a purely male trait, which, I mean, come on, that is definitely not true.
Oh, definitely not true.
Yeah.
No. But the expression of it differs. Female aggression tends to be a lot more indirect. It's often instrumentally used to subtly impair someone's social standing rather than just, physically overpowering them.
That makes total sense.
Section 12.6 also highlights something called frustration-aggression theory. This basically explains that a lot of our lashing out happens simply because we're blocked from achieving a goal.
Oh, so the brain just redirects that friction directly into hostility.
Exactly.
Well, if aggression is fundamentally this tool for social dominance, it makes sense that we start practicing it really early. Is that exactly what a playground bully is doing, just testing dominance?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But to be clinically defined as bullying, the textbook notes it actually requires an imbalance of power and repeated behavior.
So a one-off argument isn't bullying.
Right. And we see that same gender divide play out early, too. Boys leaning toward physical intimidation and girls toward social isolation.
But the part that feels completely new to our era, though, is the internet. I mean, how does putting all this on a screen rewire a bully's brain?
Well, it strips away the immediate visual feedback of the victim's pain.
Which lowers empathy.
Yes, massively, while also granting the bully the shield of anonymity. And because cyberbullying spans social media, texts, emails, the harassment follows the victim right into their bedroom.
They can't just walk away from the playground anymore.
No, they can't.
It creates this inescapable powerlessness.
Which is exactly why the psychological toll is so severe. We're talking high rates of depression and suicidal ideation.
Oh, wow.
And it's especially devastating for LGBTQ and minority youth who are targeted at disproportionately higher rates online.
That brings us to maybe the most unsettling part of this deep dive. If this harassment, whether it's physical or digital, is happening out in the open, why do witnesses just watch? Are humans just inherently callous?
It's actually less about callousness and more about cognitive load.
Really? How so?
Yeah, so following the tragic 1964 Kitty Genovese case, where neighbors reportedly heard her being attacked but didn't intervene, researchers Latane and Darley identified the bystander effect.
Okay, and what's the mechanism there?
The core mechanism is diffusion of responsibility.
Meaning, like, if I'm the only person there, 100% of the responsibility to help falls on me.
Right.
But if there are 10 people, my brain convinces me I only hold 10%.
Exactly. Your brain actively uses the presence of others to avoid the psychological stress of stepping in.
Oh, like passing a car accident on a packed freeway? Your brain just assumes one of the hundreds of other drivers has already dialed 911.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Honestly, recognizing that mental loophole is actually kind of empowering. Like, once you know your brain is actively looking for an excuse to do nothing, you can consciously override it.
You can choose to be the one who acts in your own social environment.
Right. It turns abstract psychology into this really practical tool for navigating the real world.
It really does.
But, that leaves me with one final thought for you to chew on. If the physical presence of a crowd diffuses your responsibility, how might the massive, seemingly infinite crowd of the internet be secretly paralyzing you?
Oh, that's a really heavy thought.
Yeah, like, are we all just staring at the same digital playground, assuming someone else is going to step in and stop the bully?